Welcome to the city of brotherly love, a place where a 71-year-old man isn't safe on his way home from just picking up Chinese food.
When he was just about 2 blocks from his home, 2 males exited from a breezeway. They announced a robbery. At that time, the 71-year-old pulled his gun, and there was an exchange of gunfire between the 71-year-old and these 2 individuals that were attempting to rob him. Do know that the 71-year-old victim fired multiple shots.
All right, here's where I'm going to remind you all that liberals would rather see people like that 71-year-old man left defenseless against the thugs. But it isn't just progressive politicians who are making it harder for law-abiding citizens to protect themselves. Corporate America is now getting in on the gang as well. Now, we told you previously how Visa and MasterCard were going to track gun store purchases separately from other purchases. Well, now Discover Card, they've just announced that they're joining the initiative starting in April. Joining us now, Horace Cooper, co-chair of Project 21, and PragerU personality Amala Ekpunobi. Horace, so the left has really co-opted corporate America on so many issues. And now they're going to make it harder for everybody, especially vulnerable minorities in danger inner city areas, to be able to protect themselves by this tracking system that I think just makes a lot of people nervous.
Well, absolutely. These companies do not need to be in the business of keeping track of what you're doing when you make your purchase, as long as it's lawful. Spend more time figuring out how to get the interest rates lower rather than this nonsense that threatens the civil liberties of the American people. And you're talking about a man. It could have been a woman, it could have been any American in their senior years, no longer free to just go down the street in their own neighborhoods. Instead of these corporations joining with the wokesters, Americans are going to have to start arming themselves, and this country is going to have to change its policies and start holding these people accountable.
We're adding barriers to entry to people who want to just lawfully exercise their Second Amendment rights. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are not going to want to buy a gun if they feel like, okay, wait, I'm on some list, even if the cards deny that.
Absolutely, Laura. We have a wicked cocktail for crime and incentivizing criminals to go out into the street and do whatever they want. I don't feel safe walking around LA at night or even during the day sometimes here. And I'm sure this 71-year-old man who's going to have a hard time recovering from this gunshot wound is going to be looking over his shoulder from here on out walking across the street. And it is important that citizens have the ability to arm themselves when we're living in areas like this, when we are faced with dangers like this. But it's also important that we have changes in policy. And I think a lot of people, after looking at this story, are going to be looking at the DA in Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, where there's been an impeachment process trying to get him out of there, even many Democrats voting for him to be impeached, and he continues to support what he deems a moderate take on crime, where criminals are being let back out onto the street, becoming career criminals, and we're ending with cases like this 71-year-old. It is devastating.
Now, yesterday at a White House briefing, Karine Jean-Pierre engaged in some like revisionist storytelling. Watch this.
The president inherited increase in crime when he walked into this administration, and this is a president who is led on that, who is led on making sure that we put forward public safety and law enforcement policies to make sure that we keep our community safe.
Of course, Horace, no mention of DAs like Larry Krasner that Amala just mentioned. They don't have any culpability here at all for this revolving door of crime.
So we got the Soros-funded DAs that are wreaking havoc in communities all across our country. But this president started his 2020 campaign by picking as his running mate someone who was supporting getting people out of jail for the most heinous crimes. And he has raised a white flag across America. I understand that he's going to sign the bill in the District of Columbia that prevents them from going even more crazy on lessening punishment and penalties for criminals. But his administration, his Department of Justice, has signaled mightily it's open season. If you're a criminal, now is your time to shine. We got to turn that around.
Yeah, Amala, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high a big a problem is crime for the Democrats in 2024?
Oh, it should be a 10 for anybody who has their eyes open, cares about their own lives, the lives of their family members, their peers, their friends. Crime is running rampant everywhere, and especially in our metropolitan areas. And it's time for people to wake up and start voting against the people who are causing it.
All right, Horace Amla, thank you.